Okie dokie karaoke's, we are studying an author by the name of Nicholas Olden, an excellent author and illustrator. Remember, he does both. He writes the stories and he does the illustrations. What I like about Nicholas Olden is his illustrations are actually pretty funny. Not just his writing, but his illustrations are funny too, and we look funny as well. But we looked at a couple in Up the Creek that made us laugh. One where the moose and the beaver are surfing the canoe while the bear's trying to paddle upside down. So funny pictures like that. Okay, so as I said, we read two Olden books. We read Big Bear Hug was first, and then we read Up the Creek. Now remember, Nicholas Olden always likes to put a moral or a message in his stories, and this case is no different. The Busy Beaver by Nicholas Olden. Again, one name on the cover because he did the writing and the illustrations, so he did both. So you only see one name on the cover. Usually when you see illustrations, like we do in this case, you're looking at a book that's fiction or fantasy. When you see real pictures on a book, that's when the book is usually fiction, or sorry, is usually non-fiction reality. So this is a fictional book because we've got illustrations. All right, The Busy Beaver. See if you can pick up on the message or the moral that Nicholas Olden is trying to tell us. All right, here's the inside cover. You may notice all these trees are chewed up and cut down. Something a beaver would do. There once was a beaver who was so busy that he didn't always think things through. This beaver's carelessness was becoming a problem. His dams leaked and he always made a mess of the forest. He left trees half chewed, and worse, he felled more than he needed. That means he took more than he needed. Not a good idea. Not sustainable. Oh, let's check out the other animals in our stories, our other main characters. There's the moose going for a swim, and there's the bear. He doesn't look too happy because the beaver's been cutting down all his trees, and he loves trees, remember, from Big Bear Hug? Perhaps worst of all, the beaver went about his work with so little thought that a tree landed right on top of a bear. And once he even chewed a moose's leg thinking it was the tree. The beaver was just that careless. Chewing up a moose's Nicholas Olden. Funny. It was only a matter of time before something went terribly wrong. Sure enough, one day the beaver was so busy chewing on a tree that he failed to notice it was falling in his direction. Uh-oh. Where's our woman? The beaver woke up in the hospital with a bent tail, 2 broken limbs, 3 cracked ribs, 4 big bruises, 5 sprained fingers, 6 twisted toes, 7 little cuts, 8 stinging scratches, 9 sore muscles, and 10 nasty slivers. Whoa, we were counting them. He had spent his entire life chewing, swimming, and building. He had never sat still for a second. Now he could barely even scratch his nose. He's got a fly on his nose. He can't get rid of it. Oh. At first, all the beaver could do was stare at the ceiling. But little by little, he began to heal. With lots of rest, he regained his strength. And before too long, he was trying out a pair of crutches. He's coming along. Starting to feel a little bit better. Eventually, the beaver was able to hobble over to the window. This was the first time he noticed his leaky dam, the mess of trees he had left half chewed, his friends' bandages, and a family of homeless birds. He realized he had a lot of work to do. You see the homeless birds down here? Beaver cut down his tree, cut down their tree. The next day, the beaver embarked on a rigorous rehabilitation program. He got back on his feet, did lots of yoga, lifted weights. While he was at it, the beaver caught up on some important reading and practiced saying, "I'm sorry." Soon enough, he was ready to go home. Ah, interesting. The beaver's friends were a little worried about his return to the forest, but despite their concerns, the beaver went straight to work. "Hi, guys." Bears rallied, "Run for your lives!" So the beaver's got a little bit of apologizing to do and some fixing to do too. Before the beaver started his first project, he did a full tree inspection. Checks to see if there's any animals in harm's way, and carried a frightened caterpillar to safety. Oh, Then the beaver went ahead and built the family of homeless birds a new nest. Ah, very nice. Next, the beaver apologized to his friends for being careless and causing so much damage. Sorry, guys. Thank you. To show he meant it, he made the Bear of Oz for his den, and he built a canoe for the moose. Apology accepted. He's making what we call amends. The beaver's final task was to clean up the mess he had made in the forest. He hauled off the trees he had left half chewed, used the broken branches to fix his leaky dam, and planted saplings to replace the trees he had fallen or chewed up. With the forest back in order, everyone was happier, including the beaver. Look at the bear hugging the tree. That's from our first Olin story, Big Bear Hug. That's what I think is funny about Nicholas Olin's stories, is he always has a funny illustration, and that's a good one. Oh, and the moose carrying the canoe too, forgot about that. His work done, the beaver got to thinking about what he might do next. He came up with lots of ideas as he got ready for bed that night. Maybe he would take a course on dam building, or start a band and go on tour, or take more naps. The beaver liked this idea best. Excellent. Take more naps. I love it. Being busy doing good work was exhausting. With a yawn, the beaver laid his head down on a soft bed of leaves and fell right to sleep. All that was left for the beaver to do was dream. Ah, excellent ending. So the beaver learned a lesson here. He was being so busy doing his work that he forgot about everybody else. He forgot about his friends. He was careless because he was working so hard. He forgot to enjoy his life. And so that's the message I think we're getting here from Nicholas Oldham in this story, is to enjoy your life. Don't work so hard. And don't work so hard that you forget about your friends. And that's a really good message here in the Busy Beaver. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. We got one more coming your way tomorrow, and then we're done with Nicholas Oldham. But after you've listened to the story, go ahead and now do the assignment that's attached to the story. All right, hope you enjoyed that one. I like that one. Just like the other ones, Nicholas Oldham always makes me chuckle. Love it.